Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 8, and this is going to be my video on, or this is going to be my trailer breakdown, might I say, for Episode 10, otherwise entitled Reckless. But of course, before we do anything else, let's watch this trailer.
What's wrong?
Team Flash's new case. This one's a little creepy.
You want to use yourself as bait to capture the fire. If anything goes wrong,
You pull the plug. Got it. Somebody turned up the heat.
it knows what we're planning.
So last episode was continuing this introduction of this new killing force thing called the Black Flame. Even though I don't know if they actually officially called it the Black Flame on the show. They've just called it this like entity, but the show is calling it the Black Flame, like they will in the synopsis for this episode as well. But last episode was a very Chester-centric episode and dealing with the Black Flame's effects on him, and we do learn that the Black Flame pretty much feeds off grief. We weren't too sure if it was like fear, which they sort of were pushing, or just general darkness, but it's actual grief. So in this case with Chester, it was grief over his father, and him just thinking this could be a potential ghost or phantom, I guess you could say, of his father. And in regards to the other people, they'd like recently lost loved ones or had other issues going on in their lives and various things like that. I think one had lost a grandmother recently. I think one of them had like a sick sister, or sister had just passed away as well, and one was in like a lot of financial stress or something along those lines. So that's where the grief was coming in, where the Black Flame was able to kill those other people. And with Chester this episode, it was stuff to do with his dad. So it will be interesting to see how the Black Flame potentially affects everyone else on Team Flash as well. I don't know if they'll get around to everyone, but I can definitely see like something happening with Barry. I'll be very curious to see where that Barry side is. And I wonder if Eddie plays into this one, or if Eddie's attached to something else. But there's still a lot of this storyline to go, so it's best if we just, I guess, wait and find out. Now, I had some people asking, there is no break for The Flash like Superman and Lois is on. Superman and Lois is on like a 1 month break without episodes, which sucks, but The Flash is not. The Flash is still on, though I think there is a 1 week break on I think it's the 20th. I want to say it's the 20th because I think that's the date. And it's just that week there's like no CW shows for some reason. Not too sure why, but there's just that week there's like no shows, I'm pretty sure, on the CW, or at least a good amount of shows are taking a week off that week for whatever that reason might be. Yeah, so from what I know, that's the only week we have coming up that's a break. But outside of that, it's full steam ahead with this season of The Flash. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly read out the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context as to what's going on, as well as some other stuff that's not shown in the trailer. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts, theories, predictions, just general opinions and thoughts. I'm always curious to read what you guys are thinking, and anything from the trailer I might have missed, always curious to read if you found something I didn't. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support for the channel and everything like that. Barry's desire to keep Team Flash safe is tested when Frost recklessly courts danger as she tries to stop the Black Flame. Meanwhile, Iris tries to help a teen girl reunite with her mother, but unintentionally does more harm than good. So first up, we see Frost talking to Caitlin's mother, who is also technically Frost's mother as well. It's just a bit of a confusing one, but she's back. And of course, the last time we saw her was in season 6, in like some of the last episodes before the COVID shutdown. And they pretty much rewrote what they had planned for both, well, I guess Caitlin as a character heading into season 7 because of everything that was going on. Then, COVID shifted around episodes, and Danielle Panabaker was pregnant and was meant to be gone for longer, but then COVID happened, the shutdown, so she was pretty much ready to go and they were ready to start filming again. And of course, at the beginning of season 7, Caitlin and Frost weren't split yet. They weren't two separate entities. They were still one thing. It was just like an alter ego for Caitlin. When she wanted to go Frost, she could be Frost. Even though it feels like they've been separated for a while now, but they were still one entity the last time we saw Caitlin's mother, and they were going to do a different storyline then, and it all changed up. So I'm very curious to see if there's any throwbacks to that or any explainers as to what happened, whether she references anything, last time they saw each other or last time they were on screen together. Not sure if that's going to happen, but just keep that in mind. It could. Of course, we still have that tease where like Caitlyn's mother had like the ice meta powers. Once again, don't know if that'll be referenced. Wait and see, I guess. But we do see the black flame in Frost and Caitlyn's apartment. Now, it's going to be interesting because we saw with Chester, as we were saying before, that his father showed up. And that's what was represented by the black flame for Chester. So, like, what's it with Frost? Does Ronnie appear for Frost? Because she was a part of Caitlyn and stuff like that within there. Not too long ago, like they were together for longer than that. They've been split up at this moment in time. Or is it someone else from the past that was more connected to the Frost side of Caitlyn when they were together? It makes me very curious as to who it could be, or if maybe the black flame doesn't take a shape at all for Frost. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't really know exactly which way they're going to go. It'll be interesting to see what it is though. But Frost actually wants to use herself as bait to take on the black flame, and I'm assuming this would maybe be due to her abilities, because we do see her arm is like burnt while being in her apartment, as if like the black flame has attacked her. So of course, she's been attacked by the black flame but hasn't died like all these other people have. So her abilities must either make her safe against it, like she might get hurt but she's not going to die, or she's able to face off against it for a much, much longer amount of time compared to these other people that have just been burnt to a crisp pretty much instantly. So I really didn't think too much about that she could be a tool that could go up against this black flame and not really take too much damage, at least in a quick amount. So yeah, it makes sense that they would use Frost to their advantage. So we do see Frost like strapped into this like, I don't know, upwards thing. I don't even know what, platform. I don't even know what you'd call it, like a bed, upwards bed, in order to lure in the black flame, with Barry as well as Caitlyn and Frost's mother, which is Miss Tannhauser, Carla Tannhauser, I think her name is. They're in the room as well. But as Barry does say, it like the black flame knows what they are doing, and Barry in this bit here looks up in like a very frightened and almost like emotional way. So I wonder if the black flame is lured in but outsmarts whatever trap they have set up, and then maybe Frost is put into immediate danger, because we do see Barry run towards, I'd assume, Frost most likely. Or maybe the black flame takes shape of something, that Barry starts to get emotional over, like that he's suffering grief from, someone that's passed away, whether it's Henry Allen, whether it's his mother, whether it's someone else like that. That could be the case as well. But another question is like, will anything happen to Frost, seeing that she is the one that I would assume Black Flame directly goes after in this scenario? Because we know that there's stuff going on in future episodes with Daniel Panabaker, but we don't necessarily know whether it's Caitlyn or Frost. And we know Caitlyn is in like episodes 11 and 12, but I don't think there's any mention of Frost from memory. So I'm not saying Frost is dying here, because it's a big leap. But we know this villain is pretty, lethal. So maybe it puts Frost out of commission for a bit, like really damages her. And it's going to take her a while to get back to, a decent amount, where, a decent recovery state. So maybe that's what happens. She gets hurt really, really bad here. But that's for us to wait and find out. Now, speaking of Caitlyn, and I guess to an extent Frost, Ronnie will show up in episode 11, the episode after this. We know that that's his first episode back. So will there be a Ronnie teaser at the end of this episode? There is a high chance that could be the case, or maybe it's another Iris teaser. I think it's because out of the past few episodes, the majority of them have been Iris teasers with the hairbrush, then the stuff with Joe, and then the most recent episode with Dion. So it's almost like a trend that the cliffhanger is something to do with Iris. So maybe they might continue that, because they could just make it that he just appears in episode 11 straight up when Caitlyn is most likely back, and he comes about because of Black Flame's impact on Caitlyn. Now, we don't know for sure that Ronnie is going to be attached to the Black Flame. Maybe it's something else, but based off what we've seen so far, especially last episode with Chester, it leads us to think that that's going to be the case. But I think episode 10 might piece it together even more. Like, we don't know what Black Flame's going to appear as for Frost, and maybe even Barry potentially, and maybe even some other characters in this episode. So that might give us a hint as to how Ronnie does show up in episode 11 as well as episode 12. Now, the synopsis does pretty much allude to Iris still being in Coast City with Tinya, which was set up, at the end of last episode as well. And I guess it makes me wonder, and might make some of you wonder as well, like, does this lead anywhere? Or is it just for, like, the last episode, or for last episode in this one as well, and maybe the next one, I'm not too sure, to just have, like, a contained story where Iris is focusing on, like a real life thing. Like, this feels like something that Iris would do. Go away for a couple of days, research a story and everything like that. So is it just a contained story that keeps Iris busy? Or is it something that maybe leads into some other stuff with this Tinya Wazo character? Or is it just something to keep her busy, which then leads into this time sickness stuff that we have seen building up over the past, well, since last season, but especially during Armageddon and some of these, stingers at the end of episodes over the past few weeks. As I said in my review for the last episode, I am interested to see what the effect of this time sickness thing is on this season, because Eric Wallace has said it's a major part, but I just don't know how it affects everyone outside of Iris, unless it starts to, like, spill out because Iris can't control it, or maybe because Iris can't control it, she ends up changing stuff in the timeline. That's the only thing I can think of that as to how it would affect everyone, but once again, I guess we have to wait and see how it plays out, because I don't think anyone really has a good idea as to where it's going outside of the people that are actually making the show. But to finish off the video, we do have some promo images. There's nothing great. They're pretty spoiler free, and I think this is mainly because they were actually released like a week and a half ago. They released these ages ago, which is pretty insane. But we do have Barry as well as Caitlin in the speed lab here. This seems to be maybe in the lead up to, oh, not Caitlin, sorry, Frost. In the lead up to them doing this, luring in trap thing for the Black Flame. Now, it's important to remember that Danielle Panabaker is pregnant right now, and I think at the moment she's like pretty noticeably pregnant. I don't know when these were filmed. I think they were filmed like maybe just after the new year or just before it, so I'm not too sure what stage of pregnancy she was at. So maybe this is why she has the loose clothing, because Frost usually wears like just t-shirts and stuff like that, but there's a lot of loose clothing here, so maybe they're trying to hide that. Not too sure. I can't really tell based off that photo at the very least. Then we have Chester and Barry. Chester, Barry, Allegra. It's like we're adding another person in each photo. Is there 4 in the next one? No, we got another 3 here with Barry, Chester, and Allegra. But it seems like maybe there's concern over this plan. I don't know if the plan like they have with this luring in and trapping is the best, but it's not terrible. But then we do have some photos in a location. I think this is in the old, I don't even know where this location is. For some reason, I feel it's in the old building where like Ralph's office was in the old Central City Media, but didn't like Iris just buy out that building? I don't know. Let me know, is this building familiar to anyone? It looks familiar, but at the same time, I have no idea where it is. It looks very obviously retro. And did he time travel? No, he wouldn't have time traveled these people back, surely. I actually have no idea, but it seems like they've gotten rid of everyone else out of Team Flash except Frost and kept them safe here. I don't know. I actually have no idea what's going on here and where they exactly are. It looks familiar, but at the same time, I can't pick it or ping it. I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I'm pretty sure I've seen this place before, but I can't be 100% sure. But yeah, guys, that's it to go over for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you're looking forward to this episode. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could, drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on everything we went over, and where the hell are they? You can tell me where they are in those promo images, those last 2, because it looks familiar, but I can't pick it 100%. But yeah, let me know all your opinions down there in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.